Hello Stampers, and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today we are going to have so much fun creating this fabulous shaker card. Isn't that super cute? Like, not only does it rattle, so it sounds fun, but it's got those awesome little beads floating around to make it look like bubbles and like the little fishies are swimming in water. I love it. Isn't it cute? Of course, this is one of those that like a picture just doesn't do it justice. So that's why, of course, I had to do a video. Isn't it fun? I love it. Ah! Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create this fabulous shaker card and also how to create the little shaker pieces. So of course you could always use, you know, like little confetti pieces, or you could always, add some of the embellishment like sequins and things like that to the inside of your shaker, or you can add silica gel. So let's just set this aside. And so silica gel is like those little packets that come like in shoes and things like that to keep things dry, I think. And it always says, you know, do not eat and throw away, that sort of thing on there. So it's those little packets of those little clear beads are what we're going to use for the inside. So look, we're repurposing those items. So I'm just going to pour some from this packet into just a little, this is actually one of the little embellishment pieces that comes with some, you know, like with the sequins in it, or buttons and different things like that have come in these little containers, and I've saved them. You could always use a small, you know, like Rubbermaid container, or, you know, just some sort of disposable container that you have laying around. And I'm just going to add those in there, and I'm going to take my re-inker, and I'm just going to add a drop of re-inker to the middle there. Okay, another drop wants to come out, so I let him. So there's your one little drop. I'm just going to put the lid on it and start shaking. And you'll see that they pick up that fabulous color. Of course, there's a little glob in the middle where all of that was. So you can always spritz a little bit of alcohol in there, or here, let me actually... There, now you can see it much better. So you can always spritz a little alcohol in there to help break up the color a little bit, and of course the alcohol will help it dry faster than using water. Or you can always just lay the beads out as is and leave that little glob there, and you can always rinse that away once you have all your little beads out. So then I usually just sort of set this in front of a fan or next to the vent or something like that to let them dry for a little bit. So that is how you can color your silica gel for the inside of that. Now, one of the other things that we're going to do today that I'm going to show you is the awesome way of how to do this without having to flip it over. So first we're going to start by stamping our jar down. So here we're using the largest jar from the Jar of Love stamp set. So that's this stamp set here. And I'm using the largest one. So I'm just going to ink that up in basic black ink. And then I'm going to stamp it on my cardstock. And I'm going to do it about in the middle. I mean, as middle as it can possibly be. Let's be honest. So now that we have our jar there, then what we're going to do is we're going to use the Everyday Jar Framelits, and we're going to die cut out that middle piece. So of course, this is the die for your big size of jar, but that's going to die cut out our entire jar. What we want to use is this little one that almost looks like a soda can. We want to use that one, and that actually fits right in the middle. And then it creates that nice little hole which will showcase what's in the jar but still keep your nice little jar stamped image. So that's the one that we want to use. So now we're just going to run that through the Big Shot to pop out the middle. And through the magic of television, here I have it already die cut out. I also have went ahead and I stamped the happy birthday greeting, which I used from the Party Wishes stamp set. So that's this stamp set here, and I just used that fabulous big happy birthday right there, and I stamped that in Tangerine Tango. Now, the other thing that you want to do is you want to keep this little inside piece that we just die cut out. And the reason that we want to keep that is because we're going to use that as our mask so that we know how to place this onto our card. So here I have a pool party card base. And we're just going to go ahead and fold that in half into a card. So what we're going to do is instead of actually adding the foam around this piece and then flipping it over and trying to get it all into this card, or with the beads in it, or trying to place this centered on top, what we're actually going to do is we're going to center this onto the middle like we would as if we were going to adhere it down right now. We're going to place this insert back into our jar and then hold that down and pop out the outside. And now with this in place, I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm just going to do a very loose, and I mean you could go super close, but it's not that necessary. So a very loose little pencil template around that image. Now I know that my image is going to be smaller than this. So then I can take our shaker card foam, and we're just going to take one of these sticky pieces. And now I'm just going to put it right on top of that pencil line. And just kind of, you know, work it around, curving it, and it's bendable and pliable, so that works perfectly. And I'm just going to go right around that little template and match it up with the end, because you want to make sure you have a nice, good seal, or otherwise your goodies are going to fall out. And then now you just want to press down to make sure it's sticking nice and well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our window sheet, and I just cut a piece of window sheet to fit right over that piece there. And we're going to have to move that out of the way. And so I'm just going to add just a little bit of snail adhesive all the way around our little open jar on the back side. Place our window sheet over the top. And then now we have that beautiful little seal there, and we're ready to put it on after we fill it. So now you can then place this in the middle there, and you don't have to worry about flipping it over or putting it all on this back side. So we're going to press down on there for a nice strong seal. And then now we're going to add our little fishies. And the fishies are from the Jar of Love stamp set as well. And then I die cut them with the Everyday Jar Framelits set. So I'm just going to add a little bit of snail adhesive to the back of those and put one up towards the top and one towards the bottom. And I kind of put one to one side and one to the other just so that they're not right on top of each other. And now we can pour in our silica gel. So this is already some silica gel that I had drying, and it's already nice and dry and ready to go. And you can fill it as full as you want. This is probably pretty full, but I kind of like them full, so that's okay. You can put as much or as little as you want on there. And then now we're just going to peel off the backing. And a lot of times I do like to kind of press a little on the inside to make sure it's not super sticky and then holding all my little silica gel pieces. And then now it's time to place this on top. And there you have that fabulous shaker card. Of course, I did add a little bit of extra twine to the top. And then you can also pull these back. You could always, I guess you could always add them in the beginning. But if you're a little nervous about your placement, then you might want to be careful. But you can always add additional dimensionals to the edge so that your card doesn't flatten out on the edges, and instead it's nice and solid all the way around. And then of course you can always slip the baker's twine in up at the top as well. So we can just slide this in. I'll wrap it around twice and tie a little bow. I usually like to tie a double knot first and then tie my bow so that it's nice and secure before I ever tie the bow. Whoop, one side is longer than the other, so I'm going to have to make a little bitty bow. There we go. And like I said, then you can always just add a few extra dimensionals if you wish to each of the corners so that it pops up and stays nice and popped up there on the ends. And that's how you create the fabulous shaker card. without having to flip it over and lose all of your goodies inside. And then also, so you can use the awesome silica gel and have it rattle and shake, which is so much fun. Super cute. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on shaker cards. I have a couple other shaker card tutorials coming soon, just so you can see lots of fun different ways that you can use the shaker cards and the framelits to make fabulous projects. I'll be posting these on my blog so that you can see full photos and instructions on how to create it. So you can check that out at laurastamppad.com. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe if you're new, as I post every Tuesday and Thursday. I'll see you next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.